Microsoft few days ago did their live stream about new games and they will show a new gameplay videos. Well, everything went south. The videos were very disliked because they didn't show any gameplay, they showed only trailers. Among those trailers, announcement was made for a new installment of Assassin's Creed game. Well, no gameplay again, and everybody was very pissed off. Later on, Ubisoft said that Assassin's Creed on Xbox Series X will support 4K 30 frames per second, which made no sense at all, and everybody was even more angry at Microsoft and Ubisoft. For lack of communication and clarification, they build up the hype by stating that the new standard for gaming will be 60 frames per second on Xbox Series X, which totally contradicted with Ubisoft's new Assassin's Creed game, 30 frames per second. Let's skip all the drama that happens and the apology that Microsoft made for the lack of communication and proper explanation. When a company promises something and they didn't deliver it even close to it, they have some issues. And all those games that they announce are all from third party, and they didn't show any gameplay footage. This shows that Microsoft didn't put the Xbox Series X hardware into the hand of developer for quite a long time. They didn't have time to do a proper video about their gameplay. They just run anything just to show the trailers, which can be done on another PC. It doesn't have to be Xbox Series X. And this is one major issue I can see clearly from Microsoft, their lack of support for third-party developers. Third-party developers does not have the SDK of Xbox Series X for quite a long time. And secondly, let's go for Assassin's Creed announcement about the 4K and 30 frames per second. First I ask myself, is this game meant for Xbox One X or Xbox Series X? And secondly, why they only announce 4K 30 frames per second? Why didn't they say the game also support 1440p 60 frames per second? And we definitely know that Xbox Series X can support 120 frames per second. So why Ubisoft didn't announce the support also for Full HD with 120 frames per second? This has raised a lot of questions, like for how long time did Ubisoft have the Xbox Series X SDKs? Maybe this is just a simple PC port for the hardware that is compared to the Xbox Series X, and they are praying that it will run perfectly. The lack of support for different resolutions clearly says that Microsoft didn't develop or give toolset in their SDKs that the developer can utilize to support the different resolution and the different frame rates. And this is the same problem with Xbox One X. If you are running your games on a Full HD TV, the Xbox One X will still render the game at 4K 30 frames per second, for example, and downscale it for Full HD, which is quite good, but not what you need actually. What you need is that the Xbox natively runs Full HD and use the extra overhead to increase the frame rate, but that does not happen with the Xbox One X. And when you go for the same support on PS4, it actually supports this boost mode, which you can turn on and off. And this is one tool that Sony developed for PS4 Pro and used the extra resources to enhance the game. No developer input required. So I think there's a lot of things wrong are starting to show off in Xbox Series X. Microsoft's mistake was they worked very hard behind a closed door. No third-party developer was aware about the Xbox Series X. And this was their ultimate issue. It will take time for developers to utilize the full power of the Xbox Series X. Does that time? We don't know. It might repeat the same cycle with Xbox 360 and PS3. PS3 was much stronger, but because it lacks the toolset and the easy development SDKs compared to the Xbox 360, which was very comparable to a PC, developers supported Xbox 360 much better than PS3. And this is my take on that announcement of Microsoft. Thank you for watching.